How's it? Today's Saturday, February 11th. It is my SBD day, and I am doing more of the same. So, whatever I did on Wednesday for 4x5 and the 1x10, doing today for 3 threes on the back squat, going up 5 pounds for the bench press for 5x5. So, 225 is what I'm doing today. That's the first time I've benched 225 in a very long time. And I am deadlifting 164 for 5 fives. And I thought I was gonna die, but I ended up pulling through. The first set, I legitimately was thinking I'm just gonna do one set and then I'm gonna call it a day because I know how hard it's gonna be, especially thinking about how difficult it was last week. And I truly surprised myself. That first set was manageable. It wasn't bad as technique was last week. Here's my first set of back squats, 134. But yeah, the first set for the deadlifts was not terrible, and that gave me a lot of confidence moving forward. And one thing that I was talking about with Blake was, even though my technique was sloppy today, it wasn't as sloppy as last week. But in addition to that, the bar was moving. So last week it felt sloppy and the bar was moving very, very, very slowly. So today was a little bit different, and I'm very happy with the way that that turned out. After my back squats, I moved into my bench press, going for 5 sets of 5 at 225 again, as I mentioned earlier. The first set is the one that I videoed, and it's pretty challenging. I think the idea of me pausing for every rep and whatnot was a bit a bit of a reach. There's no way on earth I would have been able to pause all of the reps for every set. So actually, on the second set, I didn't pause at all. I just touch and go. I bounced off my chest like a motherfucker, and it was so much easier. My hips do come off the bench a little bit for a lot of them, but I think when you watch the video on this first set, when I do like more classic paused reps, my butt goes off of the bench a lot. And I think when I am doing the touch and goes, they are significantly less. So, you know, plus or minus, give and take. Not here nor there, not great, not bad. But today was the first day I used my wrist wraps, you can see here, and also my belt. I used my belt for first time today, benching for the last probably like 3 or 4 months, maybe even longer. 205 is my last warm up here. Felt pretty solid, and yeah, I go into 225 here. You can see here. First one's okay. Second one butts a lot off the bench. And right there, yeah, it's just getting more and more difficult, right? These aren't even real like pauses anymore. But there were a lot of people there today, and because I went a little bit earlier than I normally do. There were a lot of people there today, and they were very helpful in cheering me on. So very thankful for that. After those really poorly executed bench press reps, I moved into my sumo deadlifts here, just going 164 again, like I mentioned. I didn't have too many other things to think about as far as deadlift goes. I didn't really brace the way that I wanted to, or brace the way that I know I should, and the way that I have done in the past. And that's not something that I'm super happy with, but taking that into account, my ability to move today with poor bracing was pretty good. So, if I'm able to put it all together at once, then maybe I might get somewhere with my deadlift. I am not sure. Here is kind of that feel out set at 140 that I always am starting to do now. I think it's probably the most important warm up set because this is the where I put my belt on, and also it's where it feels like things start to get challenging. Went to 154 as my last warm up here. And with the way that that moved, I was sure that the first set at 164 was going to be my only set at 164. But that first rep may have moved even better than the 154. Not lying here, not joking. But yeah, like I'm completely fine with like upper back thoracic rounding. But what usually happens is as I get more and more tired, that happens. Plus my lumbar starts to round, right? And that's not a good place to be. It's not a good feeling. But like I think for that set, that was a pretty damn good set for how I, at least my expectations of it were completely blown out of the water when I was talking to Blake about this. It was like I thought these sets would be impossible, right? So just me being able to do this second set right here, it's like okay, that's awesome. That's a good sign, and I am genuinely very happy with how it moved. And like it's not to say that it was easy. It's saying more or less that they were very hard, but they were not impossible. They weren't fails. I wholeheartedly believed that I was gonna fail at least one of these reps today, which not a great not a great mentality to have, especially when you're lifting something heavy that you need to do a ton of reps at. So yeah, that's the third set here. One thing that is happening today that doesn't usually happen is that actually we started scraping a lot out of my legs here, my quads. This fourth set, I try my best not to look up to see if that would impact anything, and it definitely does. It feels like I move a lot faster, but I do have a lot bigger rounding of my back, which I don't know if that's desirable for what it is. I mean, I don't know if I would have been able to get through this set if I didn't continue doing that. You know, if I started off with a rounded back and kept my head down, then I needed to continue doing that for the rest of the set. But you can see the difference here from fifth set to the fourth set, right? Like my head's more up, my lower back is even straighter. So that's that's something to think about for me moving forward if I ever watch this video. Typically, I watch these videos like 2 or 3 weeks after the training session just to kind of give myself an idea of where I was. I don't usually watch it 1 week out because I remember how it felt and everything. But here's the last rep. Try my best to be as strict as possible. Not too bad. Like all in all, I am very happy with how today went. So that's it for today. No accessories. Thank you for watching. Shoots.